Hi, this is Marlena Giroux. I am the current president of Howard County Lynching, Truth and Reconciliation, a nonprofit that does history work here in Howard County. I wanted to just take this opportunity to say a few things to the community, make a few announcements that are important for the community, and first and foremost to clarify something. Due to my testimony that I did on Monday for County Council, I've been fielding a few inquiries, and so I just wanted to set the record straight about some things. I feel it's necessary to do. In almost everything, every channel and every mechanism that we use in order to push out the research that we do about the county, I make it abundantly clear that we occupy a niche in the county in terms of history. We only really examine the time period that is roughly about, so before anything goes before the Civil War. So, but, before the Civil War on up to around about 1930 or so. Sometimes we may, stray into a little bit further, past that, but for the most part, that's our lane. We stay in that lane. The other way that we stay in our lane is that we do research. We only do stuff with primary source documents. I do not like using newspapers. I don't. I use them when it's just necessary because I can't find something else, everything else, or I just use it to supplement. Most of the material that we have to tell the stories that we've been telling thus far have only been found at the Maryland State Archives in Annapolis. That's just a fact. It's just, it is. So the other nonprofit organizations that are around in Howard County, that would be the Historical Society as a nonprofit. I believe that the Tubman Foundation is also a nonprofit organization. And the Howard County African American Cultural Museum, they are also a nonprofit. We are not a museum. We do history, and we want the materials to be online as much as possible. And so I've been collecting things for several years now from the archives, and I do have plans to make all of my information that I've captured about the county to make it all accessible online and to live, so that no matter where anybody is in the world, they can access it if they want to. That's our goal. But first things first, we are having an event on, this is a rescheduled event that we were going to have on May the 5th, but because of Miss Bailey's death, we postponed that event. The reschedule was always on the schedule for the Miller Branch Library. It was always going to be on May the 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. I just wanted to drop some information to people so that they would get a taste of what it is that we are going to be giving to the community at that event. As everybody knows, well, you might know, we gave an event in February, the beginning of February, and we pushed out some of the information that we did, again, research or primary source documents of the log cabin. And that would be what's called right now the Thomas Isaac Log Cabin, the accurate history, the age, construction age, and all that. Well, that caused us to find so there's a story that I'm going to tell you, a short one here. One of the gentlemen that ends up being associated with that property, everything, he actually got, in the 1840s, he got arrested, charged, and found guilty and sent to the penitentiary for enticing runaways of a Worthington, enticing them to run away. And so he served his time, got out, everything. That's one of the gentlemen. That's one of several stories that you'll hear. We did not push that out to the community at the February event because I really, really wanted the history that we had uncovered about St. Luke. That's what they're known of today. I wanted their history to shine bright and for all the focus to be on them so that they could take advantage of that for some time before we started delving into the intricate stuff regarding the cabin and the church ruins. They were two separate entities. The cabin and the church, they were separate. So these stories that we have are leading to an application that is being made by our organization, our nonprofit, this Saturday to the National Park Service for the Network to Freedom program. which I'm very excited about. And so this is just wonderful that this is going to happen, and we'll make the application, do everything in our power to get it into the system, to get it to become a member into the National Park Service, and then it's just exciting for the things that'll happen next. So we've got a lot of plans on, for that. But I wanted to tell you too, did you know that in Ellicott City alone, in that area, while the war was going on, so this from the time period of 1861 to 1863, there were 30 runaways, 30, that were placed into people that were associated with the thoughts of somebody running away, or that they were suspected of being a runaway. For some of them, they ended up being, they were people that were actually free, but they had to spend time in jail for about 30 days, everything else until it finally got sorted out that they were in fact, free African Americans. That's just in that district alone, and that's just from the time period of 1861 to 1863. One of those stories here, I have a list of them. I made them this morning. Of these people. So I took, have pictures of the original records, but I also wrote out so that I can have the dates and who was what and such and everything. So one of them, Charles Williams, who was actually free, he was spent a little time in jail, but he was suspected of entering the ice house of James McGowan. The date was June 16th, 1863, and what was his punishment? Because he was trying to steal ice. Now, that was in June, it was hot, everything else, but theft is a theft and everything, I guess. And so he confessed to having stolen ice, and he received, it was called 15 stripes, is the way that they would refer to it. So it was being whipped, everything. We've got so many cases. We've got so much stuff here that this is all calculated and so exciting. This is just one of several lists that I've compiled of different subsets of information about our county. And, when I went to the visitor center and I saw the Underground Railroad in Hagerstown sitting in the Howard County Visitor Center, it is a wonderful, beautiful, it's a stunning document. But we need to have one of these for Howard County. And so I've already had conversations with the people who put this together, and got all their notes on what they did and how, the best methods for this, that, and the other and everything. And of course, what it needs is the stories. It needs accurate history, not myths, not legends, accurate history. And again, that is our specialty. We love spending time in the archives, digging around in the records and stuff, the handwriting that's hard to read. But with lists like this, the high school kids that our nonprofit has at Howard High School and Atholton High School, they are transcribing the record series of the 1867 list of Howard Countians who put their name down as wanting to receive financial compensation for their perceived losses due to emancipation when slavery ended. And so the goal is to reconcile and put those people and match them up with our other lists that we have, everything of these various people doing various things. Because, I have here that, one of the early, runaway ads was from Nat, who in 1790 was recorded as being a runaway from the plantation home of Governor Howard that was at Elk Ridge. So we have a whole time period that we are focusing on, that we love doing history about. And again, it's record-based. It is primary source-based. But to get this accurate history out. So I hope that this explains some things to people for why it is that we exist and what we do that's different from other people. If you are interested in keeping, again, the event we're having is May 17th at the Miller Branch Library. It will be hybrid, in person and online, 6 to 8 p.m. And go to our website, HOCOLTR.org, and you can sign up if you want to on there if you want to receive notifications of the things that we're doing and keep track, and if you want to make sure that you don't miss this, everything, or miss notice about our registration. Otherwise, if you're on social media, then watch it on social media and stay tuned for the announcement. All right, thank you. Look forward to we have 3 panelists that are confirmed that are coming to the event, and in addition, my 2 fellow researchers are joining on that panel discussion on the 17th, where we'll be talking about our findings and this history and all that. So Until then.